hello, and welcome to Mocha Girl's Pit Stop TV, where women of color refuel on motivation and ignite their lives. Today's guest has built an admirable following on social media by celebrating beautiful images of Black people, whether it be sensual, motivational, or aspirational. Today we have Shavonda on the show. Welcome, Shavonda.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You are very, very welcome. So let's go ahead and dive in, Shavonda. Where are you from? What's your background? Give us the scoop.
Well, I'm from New Orleans. I'm 47, and background-wise, I guess you could say I have my motivation as far as what my movement is I would like to. I have a saying that I have that you have to get down and get it yourself because nobody's going to give it to you. So I'm always discouraged when I see images of us in a negative light. I think we're a type of people where everything is hard, hard images, hardness between our families and unity. So I'm from the softer side of things. I want to promote the love. I want to promote the sensuality. I want to promote the family unity. So, that's been my kind of stay motivated movement to try to present the softer side of Black love.
I love it. That was so beautifully put. And Shavonda, can you tell us, we're going to dive back into your movements, but I want to know, can you tell us why you are a Mocha Girl on a mission, which is a woman who has overcome adversity, who lives dynamically in the face of that adversity?
Well, I've always wanted to do this. And I want to say a long time ago, maybe, let's say before Katrina. And then Katrina hit, that became a big adversity for me. I mean, to the point that it was extremely stressful. I kind of put myself on a shelf. I call it putting myself on a shelf. I think I named it being on the shelf when I did my journal, where I just kind of watched life pass me by. I didn't engage. So once I came off the shelf and I had some self-esteem issues, I had to work on some things. And then, you got to get your own life together before you can try to encourage and motivate other people, which it took a lot. But the one thing I've always had in my family and I've always seen was Black love. My parents been married 50 years. My grandparents been married 50 years. I have beautiful Black men in our family. I have men that are fathers and husbands and, mentors. And, I've always had that around me. And when I look at the way we as Black women are sometimes discouraged with Black men, and there are a lot of good Black men out there, just like there are a lot of good Black women. And I'm thinking, why is it we can't come together? I mean, why is it there's such a negative disparity between us where, there's hard words, there's no trust, there's no compassion for one another. So I figured, what, it's time to go ahead on and get on the love train, as they say, and try to motivate us to try to have some type of unity. I mean, that's where we come from, ancestry-wise. We've always been a people that stayed together, worked together, overcame together. Why can't we get back to that? I think we've lost a little bit of that.
That is so true. I cannot agree with you more. Excuse me. I couldn't agree with you more. So can we talk a little bit about your movements? Because I know you have several different platforms that you're using. So I know about Black Elegance. What other pages and movements do you have?
I have a page called Beautiful Blackness, which is what my very first page, actually. And Black Elegance was actually my name that I used to be under. But, Facebook makes you change things. So I was like, okay, all right. So I need to come from behind the curtain. And because I'm a background person. I don't mind being in the background and pushing what I need in the light, but Facebook was like, nah, we're not having it. We need to know who you are. Okay, fine. So I created the Black Elegance page, and Beautiful Blackness is more like a Black community page. I pull from different pages that shows not just the negative, but the positive of us, the people that's motivational, people that's encouragers. I call it my community page, almost like a newspaper. What's going on with us. And so I share a lot from my friends, from other pages and everything. And it has about 51,000 people on there. So you know, it's taken off. It's, you know, I think people are encouraged by it, they like it. And I show images because, like, once again, we never see images of us loving one another. And then, of course, Black Elegance page, well, that's personal. That's my sensuality. That's where I want to get down deep with you. And I want us, I want words to caress you. And I want you to go in and sit next to your man or sit next to your woman. And I want y'all to be love and affection. You know, that's the kind of thing I want to promote on that page. And then I have my own personal page. I actually have 3.
Is your personal page, is that public or private?
No, it's actually public. It's under my name, Shavonda.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I actually, then I'm on Instagram as 2 Black Elegance. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Tumblr. I love Tumblr. Because Tumblr is just like free for all. You can just really be who you are on Tumblr without the censorship, you know. But so I'm a little bit of everywhere.
So how did you say, I kind of understood the concept behind why you wanted to start these groups and these movements to shed light on the positive side of Black people, because we know the media is not going to show anybody that. So can you talk a little bit about how you grew your following? What did you do, and how long have you been, you know, working on these pages?
I would say Beautiful Blackness has been around since, I want to say, 2011. So it's been a few years with that. I mean, I started from the ground up. And then I have a couple of groups, you know, that, you know, we just get down with it. You know what I mean? And when I first got on Facebook, and it's just, you know, everybody just shows pictures, but I also write. I write poetry. And it's just something about the art of loving somebody and putting it into words, because I want you to actually feel what I'm saying. I want you to actually, I want my reader to have an experience with me. I want you to come with me, you know, and I want you to journey with me into what I'm feeling and in that moment with me. And I just feel like we talk too harshly to each other. So, you know, I want that woman to take her words and, like her hand, and actually rub her man's back with it. But instead, you're going to rub his soul with it. You know what I mean? I hate the harshness that we have. I hate the, you a bitch and he's a dog and this, that, and the other. And this, we don't have to be like that. Exactly. And so I just want improvements on that. So the only way I could start it was just to be who I am. That's actually just who I am. So what you see on Facebook is actually what you get in person.
I know that's right. And did you have any help with growing, you know, getting this message out there? Because a lot of people follow your work and like your posts and your pages and share your content. Did you have any help from like a team, or were you doing everything solo?
Well, initially, for Beautiful Blackness page, I have a friend on Facebook. His name is B-Dub. And he started his own page, which is similar to Beautiful Blackness. And we both just kind of rode with it together. And then we have groups together. We had like Chocolate City, and, you know, like right now I have a group called Amplify My Love. We have a group called Black Love. And I mean, you know, it's just what it sounds like is exactly what it is. You know? And so we keep it small and intimate, but he's the one who really kind of helped me. And then, you know, I just have friends on it I've been longtime friends with on Facebook that was encouraging. And I've always just tried to, sometimes you get insecurities, you know, but I just try to be who I am, try to be authentic, and I put it out there, and I take risks. I can't tell you how many times I've been in Facebook jail, numerous times, where they blocked my page, taking it down or whatever, because they feel like I might be a little too risque. Oh, wow. But I'm like this, if you can show the KKK, or if you can show, you know, other races being loving and affectionate and sensual, why can't we? That's my attitude.
That's a trip too, how they do that.
Yeah, wow. That is. But I don't care. I do it anyway. I've been in Facebook to the point that Facebook personally emails me. And, you know, I've had people report me, and even Facebook was like, well, you know what, Shavonda, we're not going to take your picture down because we really don't see anything wrong with it, because I don't tag or anything. So, I mean, it got so bad, Facebook just started personally emailing me and just talking to me. And I'm like, look, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm negotiating and fighting my case, you know. I'm thinking, this is ridiculous, you know.
So let's talk a little bit about a day in the life of a writer. You said you're a writer, you manage these amazing communities online to celebrate Blackness and all that it has to offer. What is a day like for you?
Well, I've always written, and I've always written on the erotic side of the coin. I've always been on the sensual side of the coin. Music is my main motivation. Then I have a lot of conversations with couples, friends of mine, Black men, Black women, where we have open dialogue, where we actually talk about what we perceive is wrong with the other person, or with the, with the other, sex, or she's this, or no, way they do this, and we actually have open, and I appreciate that people are comfortable enough to want to be open and honest with me. And a lot of that comes from that, but I got to say, music is my main motivation. I will throw on, some nice sensual pieces, and I will flow, and I'll catch that moment, and I'll just ride with it.
Right. That is so cool. And do you is this something that you do full time as far as managing your communities, or do you work as well and then you manage this on
Yeah, I've been in the finance industry for over 25 years. I'm a payroll accountant, actually. And so I guess you could say that's my main hustle. But, I like eventually I'm hoping that becomes my side hustle, and what I love becomes my main hustle, but in the meantime, I'm enjoying it. And I want to publish a book, but I don't want an average book of poetry. I want a book where my reader has an experience, and where we just kind of take it to another level, because I don't want just a little regular poetry book. I mean, what is that? I don't want that. I want my reader to, just like, they have that experience with me on Facebook. I want the same thing when you open my book, and I want to be sitting there with you, and I want us to go through that journey together. And I want you, after you close my book, I want you to be like, wow, that was fantastic. I love it. I want a personal experience.
Right. That's amazing too. I feel like we need more of that. Instead of just reading the words on the page, you actually travel through the journey with the writer. That's incredible. What about any challenges or setbacks you've had? You have this full-time job, you manage these online communities that have pretty large followings. You said 50,000 for the one group, and I think your other group was around 30,000 or so?
Yeah.
So what has been like a big challenge that you faced over the years besides being in Facebook jail?
Well, I think the challenge is being consistent. I try to make sure I be consistent, and you got to take time out with these kind of things. And one thing I've always prided myself on, I don't like to do things half-assed. I don't like triflingness, so I try to be consistent, not just to, and I don't want to call them followers. I think, I call them, people that are journeying with me, and that are a part of the movement. And I think my biggest challenge is I don't get enough sleep, for one. And just being consistent with my readers and giving them something different, and I just keep it authentic. I told them the only thing I can do is just be who I am. That's it. So other than that, I mean, I can't say it's, huge hurdles. I mean, I will say this, there's that song that says it goes down in the DM.
Yes, girl.
Oh my God. I mean, sometimes
DMs be Shavonda.
Look, sometimes I feel like I'm a psychologist. I mean, the DM just be like off the chain. And then when you got beautiful Blackness, you got Black elegance, you got Shavonda. I mean, the DM just be sometimes a little overwhelming, But I love the fact that people reach out, and I try to be open to what people need. I feel so bad that a lot of people don't have no one to talk to. They don't have that compassion or somebody that they can truly be honest with on what's going on with their life and how they're feeling. Exactly. And so I just try to take that moment and be what they need me to be in that moment.
So Shavonda, let's say we went back in time, right? I think you said you started your page in 2011. Let's say you went back in time and you were able to give yourself advice back then about, managing these communities and starting this movement. What advice would you give yourself back then?
I think the advice I would give myself is that from the jump, I should have just started off doing more of what I was doing as far as poetry and kind of presenting more of me. That's what made me start that Black Elegance. Black Elegance just started. It's not even a year old. I don't even think it's 6 months yet.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even think it's 6 months old yet. It might be 6 months old, give or take. But that's what made me start that. Because Beautiful Blackness, it almost, I let it just kind of journey and take itself. And it just went along the path of just being a community page. And I just saw all these other pages that would just be promoting and telling stories and giving us news. And so I pulled from the roots from Huffington Black Post. I pull from everybody. And because I don't want to just be a page full of pictures.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, okay, what is that?
Exactly.
All right, it's like you're looking through a magazine. I don't want that. I want you to pause. I want you to read. I want you to think. So that's, I think that's what made me create Black Elegance, because I realized I wanted to be a little bit more of me. Mm. And I thought Beautiful Blackness was going to do that, but it didn't. And that kind of way, I'm glad it did. I'm glad it turned out the way it did. Very
cool. So it sounds like you stepped out and you did Beautiful Blackness first, and you sort of held yourself back a little bit, and then when you started Black Elegance, that's where you kind of you was like, hey, take it or leave it. This is Shavonda. This is what I do. Love it.
Exactly.
I love that. It's really, really good advice. Very good. What has been the most rewarding experience for you? Whether it's been a communication with one of the people who are journeying with you, or just feedback that you've gotten. What's been like the most rewarding?
I think the most rewarding thing is to actually see people open up and actually realize that, okay, maybe I can find love. Maybe there is hope that I can be in a relationship, because there are so many people that they want that. And I think giving people that type of encouragement to say that all is not lost, and to actually hear them say, well, you know what, I'm going to be open on my next date. I'm going to do this different. If you don't do nothing different, you won't get different results. Mm-hmm. If you do shit the same way, excuse me, but you're going to get the same shit. So, right. I mean, you got to do stuff different. And I'm always open and honest with my viewers and friends, and and we talk. I told them, hey, we all have the same issues. We all want the same things. We want a good life. We want good lives for our children. We want quality. We want love. We want compassion. We want people that are loyal to us. I said, but you got to be that in order to get that. And I tell people, what you put out in the universe is what you're going to get back. I said, so if you want authentic, be authentic.
I love that. Now, we have to go back to, just because I'm a little nosy, we have to go back to these DMs. So you said your DM, it goes down in the DMs. What is the most asked question that you get in your DMs, if you had to choose a question? Like, people always...
Well, let me see. I would say first is probably what I look like.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't post a lot of pictures of myself.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, I posted one tonight, and I told them I'm doing an interview and I'm nervous.
Oh, yay!
But I don't post that many pictures. Very few and then far in between, because I told them it's not about me and how I look. I'm not a selfie person.
Yeah.
I told them, actually, I'm going to capture your mind before I capture. I said, so you and I are going to have a mental connection before we have a physical connection. Mm-hmm. So I told them, even if I'm, some, I don't know, let's just term it ugly type person physically. I told him, I think mentally I can have you before I can have you physically.
I know that's right. You be spitting that game, Shavonda. Okay.
Hey, I'm like this. I always want to connect with a person mentally first.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Important.
I told him that's where all the action is at.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Skills fades away, right? But you can always connect with them mentally. Wow, that's funny. So what's the second question? That was a good one. You said, how do you look? What's the second question? Most asked.
Am I married?
Okay.
I get that a lot. And not just from men, from women too. Are you married? Yes, I am. I'm married. But I don't talk about all that on Facebook. I told them, I don't post statuses and what me and my husband is doing. I told him it's not about that. That's not what I'm here for. But if you come in there and you ask me, I'll tell you. Yes, I'm married.
Now, Shavonda, it seems like you give really good relationship advice. So I actually got a question from one of my community members about her relationship. So if you don't mind, I'll ask you this question. You can give her some feedback, and hopefully she tunes in. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So basically, her and her boyfriend have been dating for about 4 years. They have a child together, but she hasn't seen a ring, and there's been no talk of a ring. So what advice would you give her?
I guess my first question to her would be, have you brought it up?
Mm.
I mean, you have to put it on the table. Okay, and just like the old folks say, once you put it in their ballpark, then they have to do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if she's brought it up to him and he's kind of evasive or whatever, she has to evaluate where she want to be at in life. If she wants to be married and she loves this man, but he doesn't want it, sometimes you're not on the same level at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make a choice. Are you willing to, what I call, drop your standards, become less, just to have a relationship? And not to say it's so much less in a negative way, but that's not what you really want. So to me, if you're not getting what you want, you're getting less. You're not getting more.
That's good stuff right there. That is good stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, I would have to ask her a few questions to have her evaluate what level she's on with this man. Because, let's be honest, some men feel like, they don't have to put a ring on it if they're already getting it.
Exactly.
So, and I always tell women this, you set the tone. Women think, I tell them women have power. We have a lot of power with us. I said, you don't utilize it well. I said, you set the standard on how a man treats you. I said, so if you lower your standards and say, well, yeah, baby, that's okay. We don't have to get married. I'll live with you and we can shack up and we can do that. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that if that's what you want.
Exactly.
But if you want better and higher, then that's where you have to come in at. When a person, I always say when a person walks up to you, you both are on the same level initially. But then when you start sharing your views and how you feel about certain situations, the levels start to kind of rotate and fluctuate. And you got to see where each person is at. I mean, that's how connections are formed. You got to communicate.
I love it. And just curious, Shavonda, do you have any, did you attend college or community college or any certifications or training?
Actually, I have some college, but I've never graduated from college. Okay. I've been on my job for over 25 years. I'm a payroll accountant. And once again, I had to get down and get it. I work in an environment where there's very few of us. Mm-hmm. And you have to prove yourself, and we always got to be bigger and better and, 10 times more. Trust me, I've held out. I've represented us well.
I know that's right. I felt a little psychologist vibe coming from you. So I wanted to ask, wait, are you a doctor, Shavonda? Okay.
No, but you know what it is? I told people I've always had an understanding of human nature. And I read people well. And maybe that's just from growing up in the ninth ward, which they call the hood, and just being able to just recognize people for what they are. And I just let people be who they are, and I accept them for who they are. Maya Angelou said, when they show you who they are, believe them. And I do.
That's right. Ms. Shavonda, what advice do you have for a female entrepreneur? Let's say she's in a space where she wants to create a community, not like yours, but a community that will connect like-minded people. What advice do you have for her about creating this new community?
Well, the first thing I would tell her is have ideas, write your ideas down, and then see what avenue you want to implement them. But when you do, make sure you be who you are, because there's nothing like being authentic. It's a rare thing these days, and you'll get more respect from people when you just be, who you are. I think you gave me, I said, know who you are and be it.
I love it.
My grandmother used to always tell me, be who you are. Don't try to be more or less. Don't implement, don't duplicate. Don't try to be, see what she's doing over here and start doing a little bit of that. People give you inspiration, nothing wrong with that, but make it your own. Yes. And I also said that, give the world your unique flavor. All of us have something to offer. God gave us all talents. Whatever your talent is, utilize it. And then my thing is, get people around you that encourages you, that can help you build. Don't have the negative naysayers. People say, oh, that's motivation. Not really.
Right.
No, that's not motivation.
Right.
No, you want people around you that sincerely want to see you do well, and that's what you need to be. You need to surround yourself with people like that, and then be a go-getter. You're gonna have setbacks or whatever, but stay motivated, get down and get it, and you'll get there.
That is
You'll get
amazing.
there.
Amazing advice. I love it. I love it. So you have to tell us what's next for you and your brand. What's next?
Well, I'm trying to create a Black elegance line. And right now, I have like the beautiful blackness bracelets and black love bracelets. I mean, and it's not even bracelets; it's the bands I kind of promote. My sister and I. And then I'm trying to do some greeting cards. You know how you have the mahogany line? Well, I'm tired of going in Walgreens and Walmart, and I can't find no cards for us.
Right? And they had that one little section dedicated to my
Yeah, and let's just be honest, it's trifling. So that one little section, they don't even have diversity in that one little section. So that's one thing I would love to see for us. And then I want to do a book. I always have people ask me, "You have a book? You have a book? You have a book?" No, no, no. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
You gotta get that book out. They want it. They're waiting for you. I love it, Shavonda. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. I have to ask, where can we find you on social media? So just go ahead and list down your social media accounts, and I'll also drop some links below.
Well, I have the beautiful blackness, Black Elegance, Shavonda Thornton, and then I have Instagram is Two Black Elegance, Twitter is Two Black Elegance, Tumblr is Two Black Elegance. So, and it's the number two. So, once you get on my page, if you get on either, you'll see me. You can find me. You can find me.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much, Shavonda. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat.
I appreciate you having me. It's my first, and you made me feel so relaxed. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found at least one nugget or one takeaway from today's interview. If you're looking for a positive community where women inspire women, feel free to subscribe to the Mocha Girls Pit Stop blog. You can visit mochagirlspitstop.com, or you can click the links below to subscribe to our blog. You'll receive free resources along with our weekly inspirational newsletter, and I really hope to see you in our community. Thanks so much.